Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'd like to do a little work on this, well, I thought it was a Juniper skyrocket, and to be honest I'm not completely sure of that. I made a video of this tree in the beginning of spring last year, and it's been growing ever since. So I thought it was time to do maybe a little wiring and branch selecting, because, well, when the tree starts to grow, I want the branches that I need to get as much sunlight as I want them. And well, there's not going to be a whole lot of wiring, but I think it is also time to choose a front. And yeah, I also tried to air layer this tree, but I should have a look now to see how it went. So let's do these things. So first of all, I'm going to have a look at this air layer. I don't think there are any roots already, but that's not a problem. If it doesn't work now, it can work later. If it doesn't work later, well, it's still not a problem. Well, we have, wait a minute, I don't think you can see it. Well, we have the beginning of some roots here. So it might also be just callousing over, but the fact that it's so wide and there are little tips on it makes me think that these are roots. So it might just be that in the growing season I get roots in a couple of weeks, so that's good. So I'm going to leave it, just put the bag back. That was the top of the tree. So now let's have a look at the trunk base. Now we have quite a few of bigger branches here, which is of course nice. But I need to find a suitable front. Now there are two things that I need to take in consideration. First of all, this is a twin trunk. This is a trunk, this is a trunk, or is it a big branch? It doesn't matter, it depends on how you want to call it. So when you have two trunks like this, you want the smallest to be a little more in the back. So we have two possibilities here. That's this smaller trunk here, or the smaller trunk somewhere here. So it makes this one look bigger and this one look smaller, and when you put them straight together in a line, it's less interesting. So considering this, I have two possible fronts, and then the next thing I want to look at is the root base. So here I have quite a wide root base. If I do it that way with the trunk on the other side, I have, well, a very small root base, root sticking out. It's this is an eye poker, so I don't think that is the best option. Or maybe I should tilt the tree. Wait a second, I'm going to zoom in on the root base. So this is the root base with the smallest trunk on the left. Don't see any big roots here. This is not bad, I don't know, I think this might be a dead root, but then you have this big root straight here coming at you. So let's put the little trunk on the right, like so, and there we see we have a big root here and a bigger root there. But then, to make it more interesting, I think it's a good idea to tilt the tree a little. So let me put a block under it and see if this is possible. So we have a nice root here. This one is not bad. This is not really an eye poker, so that's, if I turn it a little more like this, I have a root here. I think this is an acceptable front, and then the trunk is very straight also, which for this style is good. This is a possible front. I think it is not bad. Quite a nice flaring root base. We have some foliage that we must get rid of. Maybe a little branch, I don't know what to do with it, but it might be interesting. A big trunk here, and then it's quite straight. Maybe that will be something to look for when I repot this tree. And then we have masses of foliages. I have a branch here that might become the new top. Just going to show you. But the top is going to be a problem because I first want to finish the air layer. So, okay, let's cut some things off, and let's take some wire, maybe. But first, let's have a look at a real spruce. Here we have a clear view on a big spruce that is never been cut down. And as you see, at the top, at the very top, I must say, the branches are, well, pointing up, and then a few meters lower they are already horizontal, and then from 2/3 of the tree the branches are really going down. So this is how a mature spruce looks. And if you compare that to a deciduous tree, the branches going down, they are not making a first movement up, they are straight down. So that's how it looks like. Before I do any wiring, I'm going to make a selection of the things that I want. So I'm going to cut the grass. And this is a big thing. I'm going to keep it for the time being. This is really small stuff, and it's blocking the view on the trunk. This is too small. This is also too low, so it's not interesting. This is too small. So here in the back, this will never be interesting. I'm not having a whole lot at the back here, so maybe I can try to do something with the branches that I have here. This is also too low. Too small, too small. Okay, same here. Too small. So this is directly in your eye, so you don't want that. Here we have a crossing branch, so we don't want that. Okay, so this is all from the second trunk, which is a good looking one, I think. And then taking in consideration what we want from what we saw on the spruce, we want big low branches here. Now you see that there's not a whole lot in the back, but that's not a problem, because when I wire this up, I'm going to take a few of the smaller branches of the smallest trunk and put them in the back to close these gaps. So that's not a big concern. So now I'm going to reduce from the top quite a lot of foliage, because the branches in the top are thicker than the ones down low, so that's absolutely not what we need. So okay, so this one will probably become the new leader, so I'm not going to do a whole lot about this one. Or it could also be the smaller one here, which is also very well positioned, but yeah, it's of course a little smaller. Well, I think I might go with this one. And then this becomes a branch, so it has to be a whole lot thinner. So I'm just going to cut back everything here in the top a whole lot, except for the new leader, which will have to grow and get thicker. So I'm just pushing everything down in order to make a conical shape, and it's going to be a rough first styling. So this is the second trunk. I'm just waiting with this one. So the new top was here, so this one can come off a little. This too. And it's amazing how much foliage you get off when you do something like that. So, yeah. Let's have a look at the secondary trunk now, which is this one. So here we can see the new leader I chose, so this is probably not needed. And then let's shorten the new leader to a new leader on the new leader, like this one. And then let's make the new secondary trunk in the same shape as the others. So, sorry, lost my mic. So, I'm going to make this a little smaller too. But not at the bottom part. Just making the top a little lighter. Okay, so if I push it down now, you see we have very thin branches here and thicker branches there, but it's still not really triangular. It means that I will have to cut back a little more at the top. And do nothing, that's very important, do nothing here. Same here, going to cut back this one. Just pushing again everything down. This is still a little long. Okay. Well, by just removing these branches and doing some directional pruning, I think I just may give it a first shaping without wiring, which is always better, because, yep. Okay. Like so. Now I'm going to have a look at all the little branches, and when I see stuff that grows right up, I'm going to get rid of that. Here in the back, here in the top. This is the foliage you don't want, so it should not grow more, and it's going to take away light from the other parts of the tree. And of course, when you want growth, you want as much light as possible to enter. This is a very small thing, can get rid of that. these little things. You don't want too many branches too. So here we have some top growths that can come off. Okay. And now at the back. This is very small. This too. But it's in the back, so maybe I'll just let it grow. Okay, I think I'm almost there. Okay. Then we have branches very close to the trunk. We don't need these two. I think that's about it. Let's have a look. This is all the foliage I removed, and it's not something to... Well, I'm just showing this with my hand so you have an idea of the quantity. It's important to keep that in mind, because you lose a whole lot of foliage, so the tree is supposed to grow and to survive, so at some point you must stop. And I think I reached the point of stopping. Just a few details maybe, but we are starting to see the conical shape of a spruce. We can imagine that this becomes the new top. It's where it's supposed to be. These little guys should be as short as possible. We have a view on the trunk, which is nice. We have a little branch here in the back. That's not bad too. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this one and this one, but it's going to help fatten the trunk, so that's good. And this one is also a nice branch. It might be some kind of a triple trunk with this as a trunk and this, but I'm not sure about this. It's possible that I lose it once these become a little bigger. But of course it's not something you can do in just 1 year. So now what we want is the tree to grow. We want the sun to shine inside of the tree. We want the smaller branches here to stay small and very thin here to become bigger and fatter, so that next fall we can wire this up. Okay, well that's it. I hope you can see the basic start of this tree. So thank you for watching and see you next time.